The model class or the entity called ticket has been used across our layers. We have used it in the presentation layer and the business logic layer, making it tightly coupled. That is, our business logic layer, the presentation layer are tightly coupled with the data access layer. If we make any changes to these fields here, then we will have to make changes across our layers. We have to change the view, we have to change the controller, and then we have to change the business logic as well. If you look at the JSP page, we have directly mapped the field names to the entity field names. So in order to get rid of that tight coupling, we'll have to create a business object which will look exactly like an entity. It is another Java bean. A business object is typically used in between the business delegate and the DAO. We can also use it between the presentation layer, the business delegate, and the DAO. So it is a replica of the entity, but the difference is that you can have different names. Instead of using the same field names here, you can have whatever names you want in that class, and that should be used in your views or in your business logic layer. Once you do that, you are free to change the field names on your entity class itself. That will not affect the presentation layer. You need not touch your JSP every time you change your entity for database reasons. Usually we map these entity fields to the database columns. When you use tools like Hibernate, you do that. So for some reason, if you are changing it, if you are loosely coupled, if this is not tightly coupled with your presentation layer and business logic layer, you can easily change it without impacting your application. So that is where the business object pattern comes in, which is a simple replica of this entity, but it can have its own field names instead of exactly being the entity. We will do that in the next few lectures.